Welcome back to the Daily Grind, a daily Memphis Grizzlies show right here on Bluff City Media. I'm your host, Mark. I usually have Luke alongside with me, but he is out tonight. Friendly reminder, if you're not already a Bluff City Media insider, make sure you go and join Bluff City Media as an insider. You get all kinds of cool perks at just $5 a month. Get access to our Discord where everybody's chatting out there. There's like 300 people in there now. Everybody's always arguing about something. There's always a discussion going about something. And so everybody's super fun in there. So join just for that. $5 a month, just access to Discord. That's really, really good. We also get access to our insider articles. Anything that's written that's behind the paywall, you get access to that, as well as 20% off all our merch all the time. You get access to merch early. Any kind of new stuff that comes out, we get access to the merch early as insiders as well. So go join insiders. Go to bluffcitymedia.co/join to do that. If you don't have the money to join, you don't have $5 a month, just go and join or subscribe to the YouTube channel. Really helps us out as well to continue to do all these shows and bring these to you. So let's get back to the show. The rebounding is an issue. I think we've all seen lately, the rebounding is something that the Grizzlies have to correct. I mean, it has not been this bad so far at all. You know, it has not been this bad this year so far. I think this is the worst it's been. That's what I'm trying to say. This is the worst it's been all year long. I will get my words out in just 1 second, I promise. But you look at the last 3 games, and even going back to the New Orleans game, look at it's 46-24 in terms of rebounding. So the last 3 games, you have Domantas Sabonis go out and get let's see, what did he end up with the other night? He ended up with 21 and 12 is what he had, 12 assists, 13 points. That's what he had the other night. And to be clear, only 2 of those were offensive rebounds. It's cleaning up the glass severely at 19 rebounds. You go out and the big man for the Clippers, Zubac, 20 rebounds. Then you have Jokic for the Nuggets, 14 rebounds, 10 assists. He had 26 points. He had a triple-double. And I mean, so did Domantas Sabonis to that. And he had a triple-double as well. So 2 guys, 3 games, 2 triple-doubles. And those are your losses right now. Those are just, it's so bad. And Bismack Biyombo has what we thought was, he looked good in his first game. We thought that he looked good in his first game, or his first week or so with the Grizzlies. But let's be clear about this. Bismack Biyombo was sitting on his couch for a reason. Like, that's not the future here. We thought it was going to be a patch job for a minute or 2, but it is clearly shown over and over again that he was sitting on his couch for a reason. That is the reality of it, is that, and that's unfortunate, right? I think obviously they're going to keep him for the year. He's still kind of a tradable asset with the contract they gave him. It's a $5 million contract. And so they made it in a way where they could use it as a kind of a trade chip, if they will. But the Grizzlies got to do something. They've got to go out and get somebody. And this is not going to correct itself this year. You hope Steven Adams comes back next year to be what he was, and you're banking on, you hope that happens, right? And we don't know for sure. Steven Adams hasn't played basketball in a long time. You going back to all of 2023, he was out for the most part. And so you have Brandon Clark, who is a very bouncy person, which we've seen on Instagram and looks good on tape, like looks good on social media, but obviously that's not an NBA game. And so you hope those guys come back with, they're 75% of themselves to start. Maybe they get back to 100%, maybe. I don't know. And that's the thing, is you don't know. That is the unfortunate reality, is that you don't know what to expect from those guys coming back from injury, especially someone like a Brandon Clark, who's coming off an Achilles injury, who relies on being athletic. But the Grizzlies have to figure this out right now. If I were them, I would be looking at some bigs to possibly trade for. And I think that decision that you have to make for the Grizzlies is, do you want to bank on Steven Adams coming back and being good? That's like question number 1, is, do you want to do that? If you want to do that, then maybe you do nothing and you look to the draft in terms of short, maybe your rotations, or just getting a better player in the draft, or maybe even trading that draft pick for someone on a bench role. If you don't think that Steven Adams is going to be the future of this ball club, and to be clear, They don't have a whole lot of time right here, right? That's the ultimate issue, is that you're going to have some people out of contract in terms of John Morant's going to be up for his, or excuse me, Jaren Jackson's going to be up for his next deal soon. And so you only have 2 more years after this for all 3 of those guys, or big 3, to be under contract at a reasonable rate. Like, the next contract that John Morant's getting another max contract. These guys are not, the number's not going down for you on the roster. That's the real problem financially. So those 3 guys, the number's not going down. So you only have a certain amount of time where you can afford other people around them that make a decent amount of money. Or you're going to have to just go basically, hey, we're going to go in on all 3 of those guys. And hopefully the depth comes in around them and it makes it easier for them to score, makes it easier on offense, easier on defense. They have some players around them that make sense. And that's what you have to bank on. If you're going to go all in on 3 basically max guys, and that's what you're going to have financially, you have to figure out how to make those other draft picks work to where you have some depth around them at a low level, at a low number, right? On some team-friendly options, things like that. So that's the real problem for the Grizzlies. They don't have a whole lot of time left before you think about it, though, that's a couple years is a lot of time, but it's really not. And so do they want to waste their time this year waiting on Steven Adams next year? Hopefully he's better next year. Hopefully Brandon Clark's better next year. And then you roll it again. What happens if you get to this time next year and you're in the same situation and Steven Adams is hurt again, or he just doesn't come back to what he was, or it just doesn't work? Because we've seen Bismack Biyombo still kind of take that playmaking option out for the Grizzlies, and he's doing a lot of things not as well as Steven Adams, obviously. But I think that's the ultimate reality. Is I don't know if Steven Adams is the long-term future for this team. I just don't know if he's going to get you to the next level, right? We've seen them get second place in the West the last 2 years, but the next level is making it deep in the playoffs, Western Conference Championship. I'm not sure Steven Adams is that guy. And that's the first question the Grizzlies have to answer. Is Steven Adams that guy? Because if he is, you just wait and see. There's nothing you're going to do here to change anything, because if you bring in another big end, you're not going to go out and trade for a Pascal Siakam, because you bring him in and then what's going to happen next year? He's going to sit on the bench. That's not happening. I don't know if they're going to bring Steven Adams off the bench. So that's the first question you have to answer. And if the answer is no, then you need to do something sooner rather than later, because just waiting and waiting and waiting does do nothing but get you L's right now. The rebounding problem turns into so many second chance points for other teams and so many extra possessions. And that's the real problem, is the amount of possessions that you get as a team. If you just look at the Kings, they had 10 extra possessions. They had 92 field goals. The Grizzlies had 82 field goals. I mean, let's look at the Clippers game just for reference. 87, same amount of field goals. The Nuggets, let's see, 96 to 89. I know it's 6 extra possessions. Doesn't sound like a lot, but 6 extra possessions is a lot. Not in a 142 to 101.5 game, but normally it's a lot of possessions. It's a situation where that's untenable in terms of the amount of rebounds. You can't let 15, 16, 17, 18, 20 rebounds go into the center every single night. Where Bismack Biyombo is doing nothing. 5 rebounds, 2 points, 11. No, excuse me. Hold on. Where is he at? 2 points, 2 rebounds in the Clippers game. And then finally get to the Kings game, and he was 0 points, 6 rebounds. So 6 rebounds and 0 points. So 4 points over the last 3 games. You can probably go back further than that. It's probably 10 points over the last 10 games, maybe. He's getting 2 points a game. Part of the problem is every time that John Morant passes him a ball, a little pocket pass, he fumbles it. It's like he's surprised every time he gets the ball. Bismack Biyombo's never thought that anybody's ever going to pass the ball. Every time someone passes the ball, he is shocked. Drops it, hits his brick ass hands, and he drops it. And so at this point, I don't know if you have to make a change. Well, that's Xavier Tillman in for Xavier Tillman in is probably the easiest change. But I think that has to happen starting with the Spurs. Xavier Tillman and Jaren Jackson Jr. played together a lot last year and played well together. We've seen Xavier Tillman be a serviceable big in the NBA for a long time. Is he great? No. Is he serviceable and when people are hurt? Absolutely. We saw it all last year when Steven Adams was out. So I think Bismack Biyombo cannot start anymore. Has to be Xavier Tillman. Because what does Bismack Biyombo do better than Xavier Tillman right now? What does he really do better than Xavier Tillman? Nothing. It's not rebounding. It's not shooting. It's nothing. The answer is nothing. So why not play a guy who is used to playing next to Jaren? Jaren's used to playing next to Xavier, and hope for the best. You got to make a change. You got to do something, and that I think is on the coaching staff. You look out and say, "Hey, this isn't working. What are we going to do? Let's make a change." No, let's keep saying the same thing over and over again. It's not working, but let's keep doing it. So if they don't make a change for the starting lineup tonight against the Spurs, I think I'll be pissed. I mean, just because it's not working with Bismack Biyombo. He's great to have on the bench as an emergency big, but being a rotation person in this game right now, it doesn't do anything for the Grizzlies. He does not need to be playing 21 minutes a night, and Xavier Tillman getting 8 in garbage time. Just not. So let's take another quick break. We'll be right back. So we'll talk about the Spurs and the Grizzlies preview next.